Welcome back to another episode of the Alphabet of Heat. Today is the letter G, and that can only mean one very painful thing. Ghost pepper.
A is for Antep and Z is for Zing. Got 24 more that'll grow in between. They say the spice of life is variety. That's why we're growing so hard on the Alphabet of Heat. Letter G.
So the ghost pepper is one of the hottest chilies on the planet. A lot of people are familiar with it. It's also known as the boot jolokia. Probably not the best Indian pronunciation coming from me here, but this has actually existed for centuries in India. I believe Northeast India is where it originates. Just in the 20th century, really, did it come to the Western world as we know it and lit everybody's mouth on fire. And then lit their guts on fire, and then lit their... You get where I'm going. The ghost chili is one of my favorites for using in hot sauce. Not my favorite to eat raw. These things are serious burners. Average of about 1 million Scoville Heat Units. They are pretty prolific when you can get a good healthy plant growing. I struggle to grow most super hots outdoors in Colorado here because it's really dry. I get intense southern sun exposure on top of all that, so setting fruit on super hots can be a little bit of a trick. Decent production this year on my plant. However, this is the only one that's ripe, and it is early October right now, so a little nervous. Maybe we'll get enough time before a freeze to let some more of these pods ripen up. I'm excited. I'm also not so excited because you know the rule. If I grew it, I gotta eat it. And besides, do you wanna know? What's a ghost pepper taste like? This is the Alphabet of Heat. We should know. Well, that time has come. Let's slice it open, and I'm gonna take a small bite. Here we go with the old knife. Okay. Not a ton of seeds in there. Surprisingly, not a lot of membrane on this guy either. There's a possibility that it won't be too brutal, but I can already smell the heat. Pretty looking. This is a nice example of shape. Some of them get a little bit more bumpy on the outside than this one did, but it's not smooth by any means. Fairly thin wall, kind of approaching medium. Typically in a ghost though, you're gonna see a lot more membrane, right? It's gonna look more full than this one that looks pretty hollow. It smells hot. It smells like a chinense, a capsicum chinense. I don't know how else to explain it. There is a very common persistent odor that you get when you smell a fresh cut super hot pepper, especially a chinense. It's a little bit earthy, a little bit like, it's really hard to explain. It smells like hot pepper to me. I should figure out some more descriptive words. It's almost spicy smelling, but I don't mean spicy like capsaicin heat. I mean like it smells like you walked into the spice shop at the mall in 1985. If any of you were ever there, you know what I'm talking about. I don't know. This one actually has a tiny bit of a fruitier aroma than I'm used to. More similar to like a habanero type smell. So I'm just gonna bite from the end here. I'm not gonna eat the whole half. The other thing that starts with the letter G is go get yourself some chocolate milk. I'm not trying to impress anybody here. It's gonna be hot, so. Ghost pepper, letter G of the Alphabet of Heat. Let's have a taste. Good flavor up front. Heat very quickly starts to build. Nice and sweet though. It does have a bit of that floral kind of brain work that is hot. It does have a bit of that floral flavor that some people do or don't like. I personally don't mind it at all. To me, that's what many super hot peppers taste like. This one though, this is really good sweet flavor on it. Kind of that upfront berry sweetness, almost like a raspberry hint or something, followed by that typical kind of a little bit earthy, a little bit grassy, fresh pepper flavor, and then the heat just starts building. That is no joke. Easily one of the hottest things I've eaten out of the garden this year, if not the hottest. I'm glad I just took a little bite off of the end there, rather than went whole hog and ate half of it, because I would be pretty miserable right now. My face is getting hot and flush. I can feel it. Nose hasn't really started running, but I'm also dealing with seasonal allergies, so I took a decongestant. Might be somewhat related. Burner. It's a very sharp pain. If you haven't ever had a ghost pepper, it's not a broad, like flat pain. It is sharp. You feel it immediately. It's mostly concentrated right now on my tongue and on the roof of my mouth a little bit. But then every swallow, you get a nice trail of that capsaicin burn all the way down. I can feel it right about to the bottom of my esophagus. So hooray for that. But really, excellent flavor. This really does make me hopeful that the rest of those come out, because a lot of times ghost peppers taste too earthy and floral. They don't have as much sweetness. Really, in my experience, it depends on the crop. But I like these. I like this one. So hopefully I can get the last, I don't know, there's maybe half a dozen pods on there to ripen up, harvest those. They'll make a nice addition to a fruity, bold hot sauce. The other thing that a lot of people do with these is dry them. So I use ghost pepper powder in a lot of my meals for myself, for my serving. I never put it in the families. But things like butter chicken, chili con carne, anything that you want to just kind of quickly bring the heat level up and add a really nice flavor, ghosts taste great. If you get them smoked and dried, that's even better. So that's the other thing I could do, is I need to throw some peppers on the smoker this year. I haven't done it yet, but that's another great way to impart a new flavor and still enjoy it. So I'm rambling too much. Alpha Beta Heat, we will be back again very, very soon. If you haven't caught the other episodes, I'll leave a link somewhere around here if I remember to do this. I will be back very soon, like in a week or less, with another episode. We'll go on to what it comes after. E, F, G, H. We'll be on to H next. So remember, plants help us grow. Peace.